There's gonna be sparks, there's gonna be smoke, there's gonna be fire, but first, let's make something. My name is Ryan Hubbard, welcome back to the Hubbard's Handmade Shop. I find a lot of woodworking is taking the boards that you bought that are too long, cutting them short, and then making them wider in a different direction. Luke came out into the shop to help me run the domino joiner and make panels out of the long pine boards that we bought. The dominoes are of course optional. There are many ways to glue boards together, just edge to edge or use a biscuit joiner. This is just the easiest way for us to get things to line up. Luke was really happy to run the mallet and the clamps, and he actually helped out a lot. It's always awesome when I can get someone in the family to come and help out with a project, and Luke likes to talk nonstop, so we had a lot of fun together. Thanks, buddy. After we got those gluing up, I also cut and prepared some 2x4s that are going to become the lid. I always glue up my panels oversized so that you can trim the edges and make all the boards flush, and then it's easy to just make them the size that you need on the table saw. With the panels to size, I dry fit the boards together to mark spots where my dominoes were going to go, and then I cut the dominoes, and here's an interesting view from what the joiner is actually doing, wiggling that bit back and forth to make that widened hole for the domino to fit in. I cut the bottom of the box out of some plywood, and then with all of my domino holes cut, I glued and fit everything together, and then set the box aside to dry. After a little bit of sanding, I rounded over all of the edges with a 1/4 inch roundover bit in my trim router, and then it was time for the fun part. This project is intended to become a kindling box for a friend that's going to sit next to his fireplace, so I suggested a really cool burned finish that would look appropriate for this. I had a lot of fun with this process, and I think that it turned out looking really cool. I was sure to do it outside so that I had plenty of air, and I had the hose and a fire extinguisher close by, so if you decide to do this too, be sure to take the appropriate precautions. My buddy said he likes my logo, so I decided to do something a little bit different. This is the inside of the lid of the box, so whenever you open the lid, this is what you see. I think that with the saw blade, it actually came out really nice. I'm really happy with that. I did some light sanding with 220 grit to take some of the soot off of there, and it really reveals the grain. I'm very happy that I did that. And then I sprayed on a couple of coats of polyurethane. I just got the longest piano hinge that I could find and then cut it to the size that I needed, so I'll have some more for other projects. I cut a mortise for the hinge, and then I pre-drilled holes and put my screws in to hold the lid on. You can also find a link down in the description for these lid stays. And for a lid this size, I only needed one of these, but if your box is bigger or your lid is heavy, just use one on each side. They work really well. Thank you to everyone for continuing to come back to my shop and supporting me, watching my videos. Stick around to the end of the video, and here are some pictures of the final box, as well as pictures in the client's home. Do me a favor and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time in the Hubbard's Handmade Shop.